Blog Talk Radio.
And welcome to Desperate House Witches. I'm Dorian Wallace, joined by my geekling sister, Raina Starr. How you doing, Mama?
Hey, everybody. Yeah, it wasn't really giggling all that long. I was giggling at you.
Yeah.
Oh.
As always.
Anyway. Yes. Can do your shout-out.
All right. I'm going to do my shout-out to my cousin Jessica and my cousin Steven. If you're listening, I'm going to send you a knuckle sandwich and a bag of chips. Love you guys.
All right. And I'm going to disclaim first, and then I'm going to do my shout-out, and then I'm probably going to launch.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. So, welcome to Desperate House Witches. If you are a new listener, we are not a G, PG, or an R-rated show, nor could we get an X. Believe me, I tried. Some bad language, bodily functions, things of a serious or otherwise degenerative nature or upsetting to you, please leave the room now. Because I'm liable to say, and probably will say, just about anything. And no topic is off limits. So, I'd like to give my shout out to my former Stewies. Love you, girls. And, of course, to our sponsor, The Angry Cauldron. Yes, please visit The Angry Cauldron for all of your needs. Candles, oils, all kinds of goods. Go get it. I just placed an order yesterday.
Awesome.
So The Angry Cauldron, please remember, and they do international shipping. So if you have a loved one overseas who needs a good that they can't get where they're at, these are your folks. The Angry Cauldron. So, yeah.
Karma's not enough.
When karma is just not fucking enough. There you go.
Yep.
That is so true. Okay, so, here's what happened, all right? I had ordered, now I got this awesome newsletter because I am on the Angry Cauldron newsletter. I get it. I received the newsletter. Please sign up for that so they can make you aware of specials and other shit, which is amazing. So I get this email from the Angry Cauldron, and it says, guess what we've got? We've got uncrossing candles. And I went, I've been feeling kind of exhausted and down lately. Maybe there's just some negative shit on top of me. Let me get this candle, right? So I ordered this candle. It comes beautifully packaged, very, very nice, very, very sweet. I burn this candle, and guess what happens? The candle burns completely, and within 2 days, my second husband winds up being back visible in my life. Not physically visible. Right. He's overseas. But visible as in we had reason to communicate because I was given some information and I wanted to see if the information was true. It was out of a concern, not out of any kind of malice of forethought at all. It was out of genuine caring about this person and concern. So anyway, I made the contact. The contact was made back. Some words were exchanged. And then all of a sudden, it got ugly. Now, I'm not going to go into horrific detail about this, but let me just say publicly, if someone neglects you, if somebody puts their hands on you, if somebody is touching you in a manner that is anything other than loving, and you have not provoked this, that is abuse. Abusers are manipulative, they are liars, and they are rewriters of history. So I'm going to say, just because you don't have broken bones doesn't mean you're not being abused. Just because it doesn't happen every single day does not mean you're being abused. If you are made to feel at any given moment like your life is potentially in danger because someone may put their hands on you and not stop, you are being abused. If someone is controlling your actions and not letting you go certain places or spend time with certain people that you care about, that is abuse. Okay? Is it the poster child for domestic abuse? No, but it's abuse. Okay? If someone is forcing you to work so that they can sleep all day and take drugs, you're being abused. Okay? So here's what happened, briefly. This person has never fully this person has always vacillated between it never happened and I made it happen. It's my fault. I said, excuse me. I don't control your hands. No matter how angry you may have been at any given moment, short of killing somebody, you have no right to put your hands in an unloving manner on another person. Male, female, don't give a fuck. Do not touch other people in an unloving way, lest you may expect to get some of the same back. Okay? And I don't think women have the right to hit men. I don't think anybody has the right to hit anybody. I think keep your hands to yourself, and everybody should keep their hands to themselves. I think that's the proper way to go. But this person felt that you have to be grown-ups, I think. But this person felt that, you know, no matter what, they were entitled to do whatever they wanted over the period of time we were married. Okay? I take issue with that. Anybody who is doing this to you where you feel in danger or threatened, you are being abused, and you don't have to put up with it and call it what it is. It is abuse. Just because it happens maybe once in a while, it's still happening. The person is not changing, and you will not be able to change them. Now, let me also say, some people are just like oil and water. Just because somebody's in an abusive relationship sometimes an abuser is only an abuser because you two are like oil and water. That's not an excuse. That means, okay, maybe they'll be better with someone else, and you'll certainly be safer and happier with someone else. So please go your separate ways and not make each other miserable. But the fact of the matter is, my abuse did not happen every single day. As a matter of fact, it came about very fucking slowly. I got abused once, and then it didn't happen again for like over a year. But then it escalated. Then all of a sudden it escalated, and it became chasing through the house, slamming into doors, walls, refrigerators. Never broke my bones. Almost tried to once. Almost tried to break both of my arms. But slammed my body around. Had no problem doing that. Bruised. Got scars on my legs. They're there. My abuser has since said that it never happened. But then, of course, you made it happen. Well, you know, you kept saying it didn't happen. Now you're saying it's my fault it happened. So, you're obviously confused, and your facts are skewed, and if you're a drug addict, your judgment is less than stellar, so your credibility is shot anyway. But it's just when you've been with somebody and you've had children with somebody, that ability to enrage you is very close to the surface. And it started off very friendly, but this person is a master manipulator. And I could say a whole lot more, but I'm not going to. I've said enough about it. Just if you're in a situation where you're feeling like you're scared, that's abuse, period. End of story. That's all. Get out of the situation.
No.
Get out of it.
As a little footnote, he better never show his face in this goddamn country again.
He won't. He won't.
And that the distance may still never not keep him safe. Just saying. You know,
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. But the idea that you can make, because you make somebody mad, that they in turn have the right to put their hands on you. No. Guess what, boo-boo?
No.
You are mentally ill if you think that's ever going to happen where I should accept that. And anybody who tells you that it's your fault that they're hitting you or being abusive to you, no. You know what? You can say what you want to me all day long. You can call me every name in the book all day long. When you cross that line and you put your hands on me and you threaten to take my children from me, you know what? You had so many chances to be a decent person. You could have paid child support. You could have gotten a job. You were certainly able-bodied. You were able-bodied enough to kick my fucking ass. So guess what? You leech upon the world. Don't you dare ever fucking say ever again to me that it's my fault that you hit me. You are less than scum. Just in case he's listening. Which he might very well be. Don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well,
good luck to you in the wars to come.
As our upcoming guest always says,
yes.
May he be forced to eat from the same plate he serves his guests from.
He never had guests. I had the guests, but that's okay. I get the inference, you know, and it's like, you turned everyone against me. I was like, no, you turned everyone against you. Don't act like an asshole, and everybody won't turn against you. You know,
exactly.
Support
if you
support
bring up
your children. Maybe they wouldn't turn against you. Maybe if you hadn't left the country like the coward that you are, everyone wouldn't have turned against you. But you abandoned ship, and you abandoned your kids, and you abandoned your responsibilities, and you didn't pay child support. And I missed out on a lot because I had to work 2 jobs until I was well into my 40s. So you know what? My sympathy for you is non-existent. You did the shit to yourself. You very much. Very simple. Very simple.
Yep.
Wow. That feels good. I said that on the air. It's like the burden of disgust has lifted from me. Thank you, folks.
Good.
But seriously, if anybody's putting their hands on you, fuck them. I don't care if it's once a month. I don't care if it's once a year. I don't care if it's once every fucking 10 years. You bury that motherfucker fast. You bury it fast. Whoever it is, bury that motherfucker fast. Seriously. And you can take the term bury to mean whatever the fuck you want. I do not care. But no, motherfucker better not put his hands on anybody. I'm just saying.
And
How was your week?
That's the good thing. Actually, my week was pretty good, but no, I just wanted to say, see, that's the good thing about being a witch. You can actually bury them without actually burying them. Keep that in mind. There are ways that we can make that shit happen.
Boo-boo, I got all my supplies. I ordered a new set of supplies from the Angry Cauldron. I am good to go.
Awesome.
I am set. I am set like a motherfucker. I am going to put my armor on. I am going to get my armor burning when it arrives. I've already got walls of protection and mirror balls for days. Good luck to you. Hope you enjoy all those nightmares, bitch. What?
I need a mirror ball. I just realized I do. I've never had one, and I need one. I don't know. I don't know why, but yeah, no, I had a good week. We kind of, just chilled for my birthday, and I got a new laptop. I'm so happy. I love
nice.
my Chromebook.
What'd you get?
I
it's
got
a Chromebook.
an Asus.
Nice. You got an
And
Asus. I loved mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
oh,
shit.
and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's silver. It's kind of like a blue steel, but it's umber. Like the top of it is light silver, and then it goes like a darker grayish blue. It's so pretty. I love it. And it works. And it's got a CD-ROM. And it's got, like, places you can put jump drives. And, oh, my God, it's an actual friggin' computer.
Oh,
yeah.
You need to send me, I want one like you. I'm going to copy.
Okay. No, that's absolutely fine.
I promise I'll get mine in different colors. I've been looking. No, seriously, I've been looking for a because I didn't think they made them because I could not find one that had a CD-ROM.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, this one is a full-size laptop because I've been working off the Chromebook for I think 2 years now. Which it was kindly gifted to me because my computer just broke.
Wow.
I was kind of working from my phone and from a tablet, a Lenovo Yoga, which is awesome. It's a really awesome tablet, and it's got a keyboard that can attach to it. But the Bluetooth on that kind of drops out after a while, and it's just there's only so much you can do with a tablet format,
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason I really haven't written much because the plug gave out, which apparently there were problems with that, I guess, this certain type of Chromebook. And I called them because there was a recall, and they were like, yeah, well, we can't replace it without the receipt and, this and that, and when you bought it, where you bought it. And I was like, somebody gave it to me because they weren't using it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, well. It's like, okay. So, yeah, I have to charge it. I can still charge it, but I have to leave it for hours because it's a low power charge. So I can't use it while I'm charging, And like Susanna said, she hates trying to write on a tablet. Yeah, it's annoying. It's like I've actually got a full keyboard with the numbers and everything. I'm like, yes.
Oh, that's cool. See, I need that. See, I don't. When I write, I write pen and paper first, and then I transcribe it.
Yeah.
I don't do the initial writing on a computer. That's probably kind of crazy of me, but
no, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
Oh, good.
And I'm not. I just like Kim says in the chat room she hates Windows 10. I'm not a huge fan of it either. I'm gonna try to see if I can retrograde it. So, or I don't know, retroactive, really good. But I haven't had any Windows in years. It's like I don't know. But it's awesome. Yeah, I'll bring it over so you can play with it.
No, I'm just gonna look it up and then I'm gonna go visit it in the store. And if I like it, I'm gonna buy it.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Yeah, because I'm not letting you have this one. I love you.
Exactly.
My shiny.
And she knows me. She knows if she brings it over and she sticks it under me, I might look up at her and say, "What's this? I want it. Need it." So she knows better than to stick it under my nose because I might be like, "But it's a shiny and I like it."
Oh, you're too funny. Speaking of my misspoken word, retrograde, guess what's coming on the 30th,
Shut
people?
up. I don't want to know. Didn't we just get over the last one? Damn it! I can't handle the pressure.
It feels like it.
Ugh.
I don't think this one is going to be that bad, though.
You know, don't say that. Don't fucking say that, because quite frankly, every time somebody says that shit to me, it's worse than the previous one. I'm like, nah. But see, I'm going to take control of it this time. This is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
As I should have always been doing. Retrograde, send away negative. Waxing moon, bringing in positive. Very tricky.
Yeah.
Full moon during retrograde. Which direction do you go in? Whatever pulls you harder. So if you need to send out, make sure you bring love in. Just make sure you have a corresponding reaction in your ritual. That way things don't go all kaplooey on you. Because as many of us know, well, shit fucks up. What do you want me to say? I mean, it's just the truth. So you have to have an opposite. You have to have an opposite and mostly equal response, because it's the push me pull you time of the year. Retrograde does that. So if you're trying to bring good in, you also have to remember to let the bad out, which is something that's an actual good practice anyway, but especially important during a retrograde. Again, things are screwy. You're pulling from one direction, you have to push with the other direction. Otherwise, communication gets fucked. So just be very direct. Keep your rituals really simple during a retrograde. Don't be doing any complicated shit, because the universe will take advantage of this moment just to fuck with your head. It has happened to me many, many times, because I wasn't
you want to get fancy.
Oh, yeah. Bitch, you think you're funny, huh? Here, we'll show you, and we will twist all that shit right up for you. Oh, hell yeah. So keep it simple, keep it direct, and keep it in both directions until retrograde passes. It's just a good idea. If you don't believe me, test it out. I always say test the shit I'm saying out. Do that. But I find I'm much more successful when I am doing we're going to swap this energy here with this energy here, go! And then it's okay. Yeah. When I forget to do that is when I have a disaster. That's when I have a mess. When I don't do both energies in the opposite direction, because the universe has no problem slapping me in the head and saying, this is the time we draw back, right? Okay, yes, lesson learned, great ones, thank you. Dummy has learned. It's just one of those tips.
You are not a dummy, stop it. That actually, I don't know if it's the right analogy, but I don't know. Think of it like a tree. Like the love we need is oxygen, which the tree gives, and the bad that we're trying to push out is the carbon dioxide that the tree needs. So it's kind of a symbiotic thing. I don't know, maybe thinking of it in that frame of mind might make it easier to conduct what you want to conduct in a simple way. Or am I just, talking out my ass? I don't know.
I was waiting for you to finish. I don't know. I don't know where you were going. Did you get there? I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's more like filling a void. It's like if you take from this bunch, you have to take the same amount from the other bunch. Same level. It's more like a scale. But that can be like a tree. Okay. It's the same thing, only different words.
There you go. Find what works for you.
Find what works for you.
Don't listen to us.
No,
I'm kidding. Listen to her. Don't listen to me.
No, don't listen to me either. Like I said, test everything out and see if it works for you. But the fact of the matter is, for me, this is what I've seen work as far as retrograde is just, it's crazy. You just don't know what's going to come at you. And so it's doing the balancing act in life anyway is never necessarily fun. It's a push me, pull you. It's this scales up a little, that scales down a little. You keep struggling to try to find the balance in there somewhere, somehow. It's just try to be more balanced is all. I mean, most simple terms, if you're pulling in, make sure you give back out. If you're trying to give out, make sure you pull a little back in. Just try to keep it balanced. That's all.
Exactly. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Real. You are not joking.
And get your hematite. Get your hematite. If it works for you,
yeah.
I don't know. I think some people might be allergic to it, but there are stones that can keep you grounded and keep you protected. So find what works for you, because there are.
That reminds me. Thank you for reminding me. So okay. So I got. Thank you. Yes. So I got these really amazing earrings. And I don't know, I think because my hair was down, I stopped wearing these amazing earrings and I went back to putting on my long curls. When I started putting on my long curls again is when the shit hit the fan too. Because Susanna's closet, I got from them mercury dime earrings. Which I have been wearing faithfully. When I got stupid and wanted to put on my long dangly pearl earrings because my hair was down, I took off my mercury dime earrings, them in a little box, and forgot to put them back on. And I wore the long pearls all the days of the aforementioned bullshit argument with the ex-husband. I'm telling you, I think my mercury dimes were protecting my happy ass. So that's another tip. If you go to Susanna's closet, they do amazing stuff. They will take coins and they make jewelry out of it, in addition to all the handcrafted weaving that Renee does. They also do these great coin rings, and they can do earrings and shit. I'm telling you, go place an order. Get your happy self some mercury dime earrings. They're awesome. And they're delicate, and they're pretty, and they're simple. But, I mean, they're simple in the sense that they're not, chandelier earrings. But they're really well crafted because they do you can either have it with the full mercury dime, or they can do the outline, or they can do the circle with the outline in the center. I have the circle with the outline in the center. And I love these earrings. They're light. They don't weigh my ears down. And they're, mercury dimes. Look it up. Very protective. Good shit to have. They're lucky for us. So, yeah, I hope, is she listening?
Yeah. She said, aw, thank you, Raina. And she also said, she just finished a bumblebee. Yeah. She just finished a bumblebee agate while you were chatting. Mm-hmm. Or I guess while she's been in the chat room. So I got to see that after the show. I got to go.
Can you post that,
please?
No, her. I'm asking her to put it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll probably put it up on the thing. But
yeah.
Well, our guest
is our guest here? Yes.
She is. I've got my pen and paper at the ready. So let's bring her on.
Right here, I've got my pen and paper. Oh my God! Yes, absolutely.
Hello.
I just had a little voice that said I was unmuted.
You know, that it does the same thing. That is, yes.
Oh, she knows the secret now. Hello, Dorothy, my love.
Hello. How are y'all?
Oh, happy to hear your voice.
How are you?
Well, I'm happy to hear your voices too.
Yay.
Have y'all been experiencing some of the craziness of the last few weeks?
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
Yes.
This week has been quiet for me personally.
Not for me.
Yes. Big time.
No. Yeah, big time now.
Most everybody is having bullshit right now.
Okay, good.
Yes.
It's not just me.
I'm beginning to think, I for a while I thought there was something in the water here in my area, but since it seems to be, nationwide at least, I think there's something in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just nationwide. It looks like it's worldwide, too. I mean, Italy, all kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's fucking nuts. Excuse my French, but for real, it's all crazy right now.
Yesterday I have this little routine. I get up and I feed the dog, and I go outside and I get the newspaper, and we get two of them. And I opened up the front page of the Washington Post. I'm having my coffee and my cigarette, and I'm flipping through, and all I saw was ugly. I mean, awful things happening everywhere, and ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, just horrible, nasty stuff. Life here has been crazy, and
really?
And it hasn't been bad crazy. It's just that I've got that Virgo rising, and so everything I think everything needs to go a certain way, and I have organized my business so that I can handle it myself.
Right.
And I don't I don't put too much on my plate. If somebody wants me to do something extra, I'm really good at saying, "Oh, I couldn't possibly. Thank you very much," but I can't. And so all of a sudden, and the folks at the Angry Cauldron said this was going on too, where things that haven't sold in a while, suddenly I got a run on. And to the point where I started realizing that I didn't have enough stuff on hand to fill these orders that were coming in.
Yikes.
And it's like, somebody ordered a bunch of books. Well, I didn't have a bunch of books, so I had to order books. Somebody ordered, coffee all of a sudden, and I didn't have enough to fill it, so I had to call my coffee roaster and say, how quick can you get this for me? How quick can you do this and get it to me?
Right.
And that kind of stuff makes me crazy because I like to fill orders within 24 hours. And so instead of that, I had, and I was out of this candle, and I was out of this oil, and so all of a sudden I had orders thumbtacked all over my bulletin board waiting.
Oh, my God.
Now, that is not a big deal to most people, but most people don't have a fit when they can't get something out in 24 hours.
True.
So it threw me off. The little coffin boxes.
Yes, I wanted to ask about that.
Oh, my God. Came out a little bit later this year, and so this time, instead of flying to Michigan to see my mother-in-law for our annual visit, we drove. And so we hit all these stores. Well, this year, the store does not have the little coffin boxes in the center aisle. They're off to the side. But that's okay because I knew where they were. Well, that was good for me because nobody had found them yet.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get 36, 48, 24, on and on. And so I got home with over, I think like 630-something, and I'm doing 3 different styles this year. So that was like 200 and something of each one. But my husband, who loves to hunt, doesn't stop.
Yeah.
In fact, he came home today with another 5 bags. And so I have these things. Not only do I have them in banana boxes, separated with the labels off and so on and so forth, and organized, all stacked up behind the chair in my living room, I also have them in bags 3 deep now, all the way up the stairs.
Oh,
my goodness.
Because there's no place to put them. And so I finally told him, knock it off. Just stop.
Oh, wow.
And
I think he's so cute with
you know what?
his hunt
Honey,
for these coffins.
Well, it's cute because it's someone else's husband.
That's true.
Really and truly, I'm grateful because I can only get these once a year, and I cannot order them online.
Wow.
So this is the only time I can get them. And the idea, if I could order them online, hell, I'd just order several gross and be done, But this is why there has to be a hunt for these. And they only it seems that each store only gets one shipment.
Mhm.
They don't reorder.
You're kidding.
No. So if you don't get them right away, and they come out like sometime right after between the 5th of July and the end of the month is when they hit the stores. You've got to get them while they're there. So, the idea is, we'll get you plenty of them in case you want to do several different things with them, during next year.
Sure.
Great. Except that there's no place to put them. That's the problem.
Right.
The closets are full. Everything's full. There's no way to reorganize anything because I've reorganized 100 jillion times.
Wow.
And it's just been this has caused me to have to rethink and redo a ton of different things.
Oh, that's aggravating.
Well, it's aggravating for me. Probably not for other people, but it's aggravating for me because I like to be organized. Now, people would look at things and go, "Oh my God, what a disaster! I can hardly walk through here." But I can promise you, I can put my hand on anything in my work area, even if it's under 3 layers. I can put my hands on it. But
that's like
now
my
I can't.
Yeah.
And so that's aggravating. Other people have had all kinds of little crazy things go on that have kind of upset their apple carts too. So it's whatever this is that's messing with us, whether it's planetary or whatever, it seems to be hitting people where they're vulnerable.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was a very emotional week for me. Not fun.
I'm sorry.
Not fun at all.
So
no,
it's
fun.
I came in on the end of all that. So did you have trouble with an ex? Did I hear that right or not?
You did. The father of my children, my second ex-husband. He it's a long story that's discussed in detail with you privately.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the details are gory enough that it's really not completely for public consumption. My point in all of it is, though, really you have no right to put your hands on anyone, and no one has the right to put their hands on you. Period.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
he's lucky he lives in another country.
Yeah, fortunately. But if somebody tells you that you made them hit you, sorry, buckaroo. Not
hell! You know what? That's what is always said when they're losing an argument. It's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had it said to me once too.
Wow.
So nobody makes you do anything.
Correct.
And I've gotten to the point where I'm old enough to where I don't do guilt.
Yeah,
and,
I don't either.
And not when it's not when it's crazy, but when you're going through things like this with an ex, my best advice for that is remember, just stop, take a breath, and remember why they're the ex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not an issue on that. Not even a problem on that.
Yeah.
For sure. Why he's not the dead ex is more of the question.
Well, I know why he's not the dead ex, honey. He's not the dead ex because I have it upon good authority that the food in jail sucks.
Okay, then.
You don't want to go there.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. And there it is. I told you the wit and wisdom of Dorothy Morrison will reign supreme no matter what happens. I'm just saying.
Oh, God. Oh, heavens.
Seriously.
So what's been going on with you, Dorian? You said it was quiet in your area?
Yes, actually, it's been busy. It's been very, very busy. I had kind of a strange weekend last weekend. I don't know, somebody got a little bit too inebriated and I didn't quite know how to take them, and it was like, okay, we need to go home. But that will be a story that my husband and I will laugh about for years. A very awkward situation. But other than that, it's actually been on the quiet side for me. I don't know. I kind of went through a magical depression or hibernation of sorts probably from December to a couple weeks ago. It was like I feel it starting to kind of the fire starting to ignite again, and stuff starting to happen without me intentionally doing it. So I'm like having to reel it back in, because I guess it's like, okay, I've been sleeping for so long, I'm ready to go. But I don't know, it was good. I had a nice quiet birthday, went to a really nice restaurant, great food. They even brought me out a slice of cake. I was very happy.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. So it's been good. I don't have too much to report.
well, you should help me
busy traveling.
You know, I thought this was going to be a really, really slow year for me, travel-wise, because I only have 4 appearances to do this year. And, you know, other than I've got one appearance. I wasn't going to do any more, but I've got one appearance I'm going to do next year, and that's the Mystical South in Atlanta. It's a conference, a Southern Magic conference, and I had promised them if they got it off the ground that I would do it, and that was a while back. So I'm gonna, and it's going to be wonderful. But with only 4 appearances, I thought, oh, this is no big deal. Well, you know, there has been constant little things that have gone on. I did the annual booze run, and I was going to go. You know, I was going to go see my sister in July, and in between those 2, in between June and July, Mark wound up having to have emergency eye surgery. And
right.
you know, this was so funny. You know, I wanted to kill him. He's telling me I got things dancing across my eye, my right eye, and I said, "Well, honey, that sounds like an ocular migraine, and let's go away." And then we're coming home from somewhere, July 4th weekend, and he announces to me that he can't see anything out of his right eye.
Wow.
Now, this is a couple of weeks ago with this ocular migraine stuff, I thought. So then I find out that he didn't have an ocular migraine. He had a black circle around the line of vision in the right eye, and it just kept closing until it closed.
Oh, my gosh.
That's terrifying.
So I make an appointment with, and he's driving around like this. and well, his left eye's perfectly good, you know. So he says, you know, you need to make me an appointment with the eye doctor, and so I do, and they want a surgeon to look at it, and he does, and he says, oh, you've got 4 tears in your retina. I don't do retinal surgery, but I have a colleague who does. However, he's in Germantown. Well, that's like an hour and a half away. He says, you need to get over there right away, and he'll work you in. So sure enough, he goes and he sees this guy, and this guy says, this is on a Friday, he says, oh, we can't wait with this. Be at the hospital in Bethesda at 7 in the morning on Saturday.
Wow.
And so he does the surgery, and this guy, you know he's a damn good eye doctor because he's so excited about everything he does. He explained that surgery to me about 6 times, and my hands would not be steady enough to do it, but I could damn sure tell somebody step by step exactly how. And so not only did he do that surgery on Saturday, he saw him in his office on Sunday morning.
Aww.
And so Mark immediately, on his post-op appointment, he says, I want to go back to work tomorrow. And the doctor said something about him driving, and he says, I've been driving around for 2 weeks like this. This is nothing new. And so the doctor lets him go back to work.
Really? They let him?
Well, yeah, and he's working in a different state. I mean, he's not even at home.
Wow.
And so, sure enough, that afternoon, he packs up his stuff and he goes back to the hotel so he can, be at work on Monday morning. And so, Wednesday, I left to go see my sister in Texas. And
wow.
And then I get to see my sister in Texas. And her house floods while I'm there.
What?
Oh, you're kidding.
No, pipe burst, house flood.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, that it was all that stuff. And the interesting thing about all of this is that I discovered that I'm the calm one in our family.
What? That's funny.
She was going on and on and on and on and on. To start with, we're wringing out towels and stuff. And I said, honey, we need a plumber. And but she lives in a small town close to the Mexican border, and there are 2 plumbers in town, and none of them work on weekends, and there's no emergency number.
Wow.
Oh no.
So we finally found a plumber.
Yeah.
They come right out, but they're 6 hours, and they're having trouble figuring out where this water is coming from.
Oh,
and
great.
she's going, oh my God, what are we, what are we going to do? Why can't they find the problem? And I said, honey, that's a $64,000 question. They want to know why they can't find the problem too. That's
true.
But what are we going to do tonight? If we don't have hot water and blah blah. And it's like, well, here's what we'll do, honey. We're going to check into a motel.
There you go.
But
yep.
I'm the baby sister. She's supposed to be the calm one.
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes the older sister is not the calm sister.
well, apparently not in my family.
It depends on the Oh, that is too funny. Speaking of travel.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Speaking of travel, what, darling?
You are coming to Asheville.
Yes,
and Sis and I are so excited because we're going to come up and hug your neck.
Yay! Yay! Well, I knew Raina was coming, but I didn't know if you were coming or not.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? We're only, I think, 4 hours away. If I had to hitchhike, I would be there. Oh, 3 hours? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm bringing at least my youngest son. He is so excited to meet you.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, he's actually, I've let him start summon through your book, the Everyday Magic one, because the other one's on my Kindle, and he's not allowed to touch that anymore. He broke it. But yeah, he's very excited. I'm very excited. I told my husband, I'm going. That was not a question. I'm going. He's like, okay.
So I guess I better give a shout out to Asheville, Raven, and Crone because that's where I'm going to be.
That's right.
Yay! And
such a good store.
People can call the store to see about classes. I'm sure they have the classes up on the website and so on and so forth. But
they do.
Yes, I am so looking forward to that, and I will be there September 9th through September 11th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And
I'll be up on the 10th.
Okay, cool. I'll try to arrange my gorgeous to wear my gorgeous hat that day in your honor.
Yay! Aw. Thank you.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So one of the classes that I'm going to teach while I'm there is the Life Reinvention class. And, and right now, since everybody seems to be having so many little glitches and so on and so forth, I think that's probably a really good class for people to take.
Mhm.
One of the things, one of the key factors in that class is, killing negativity. It's getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I think what people miss is that when you get rid of something, you kind of think of it like a wound. There is this empty space there. You remove this tumor, now you got this empty space. Well, it's going to have to fill up with something. And, if you don't fill it with something right away, then this negative crap can seep back in.
Mhm.
Or you can get what I call psychic scar tissue,
Mhm.
And if you get that, if you've got this psychic scar tissue stuff going on, it actually creates blockages, so the good stuff can't come in.
Oh, that's not good.
But folks don't think about that much. And so the idea with this is you get rid of this stuff. You you just wipe the slate clean and get rid of it, but then you replace it with something like maybe good luck.
Yes. No,
there
absolutely.
You go.
We were talking about this before you came on, as a matter of fact, because I find that that's something that works in retrograde. Like when you have a retrograde situation, like a full moon in a retrograde, you have to balance the energy, because if you don't balance it, retrograde makes everything haywire. So if you don't balance your energy, the taking and the giving, it can go crazy, and it'll not be at all what you anticipated.
No. Usually, it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I have made more than one hot mess at a time, believe me.
Oh, honey, I think we all have. It's called the lessons that you buy. If
Absolutely.
you have to pay for those lessons, then you seldom repeat them. It's
you hope.
Yeah, well, but once in a while I do, just to make sure I wasn't wrong the first time.
So true. I just want to double check. Why did you double check with that? I don't know, because it was there. That's me.
Yeah, well, so you're an adventurous person. That's good.
It's dangerous. It depends on what kind of adventures you like to have.
Well, honey, I haven't liked all of my adventures, but I have definitely met them head on. So
absolutely. That is for sure.
Goodness. So I'm looking at I don't multitask well anymore, but I've got the chat room up, and so I'm trying to talk and trying to look at it too, and so I see that Joey is trying to do what they can to make it, and so Joey, you need to come. Period. Just come.
Yes, that's a good idea. Joey,
I was just saying they can stay with us. Absolutely,
cool.
No problem.
Joey and I have been talking about trying to meet up for coffee halfway between where he is and where we are. See, now you have no excuse, because there you go.
There you go. Oh, and there's plenty of good coffee shops up in Asheville, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I haven't been to Asheville in a very, very long time. In fact, I think, oh my God, I don't think I've been there for 15 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And I went. I'm trying to think what had come out. Maybe Bud Blossom and Leaf, and maybe the Yule book was coming out too. Because I was there in the fall, and I was on book tour.
Oh.
And I did malaprops. But things have changed considerably, or in that area since then.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to know that there are lots of good coffee shops around there, because I will need coffee while I'm there.
Yes, I know you will.
Yeah.
We are aware of this.
Oh, God. So
that's going to be funny.
Yeah, I'll send you. Well, you know what? I don't know. I may be not one to talk, because it's been a couple years since I've been up, but there is one place. I think it's called Jack of the Wood. It might be a different pub, because there's two. There's like two Irish pubs there, but there's one Irish pub that is like a real Irish pub that you have to try. It's fantastic. Their food is great. Their drinks are great. I'm not sure about the coffee. I didn't have any coffee.
Well, I'm sure they're bound to have coffee, and if you put enough Baileys in it, it'll be fine.
There you go.
Baileys can kill the taste of any bad coffee.
That's right.
Just stick some Baileys in there.
Indeed. You know, I got so tickled. A girlfriend and her husband and I went to this Irish pub, and I was just mortified. He actually had the nerve to order scotch in there.
Oh, God.
And it was like, and I looked at him, you know, and just kind of shook my head, and looked at the bartender, and I said, "No, he'll have a Jameson's." That's
wow.
He was only kidding. That's
Hannah Flanagan's. That's the name of it.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you the link. Yeah,
okay.
Oh, it's really good. Really, really good.
Oh, goodness gracious. So what are we going to talk about tonight, ladies?
I'm going to let you pick the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what?
I would. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Personally, you would what?
No, I was gonna say actually getting rid of negative. If we could expand on that, because I've got some neighbors that I think the spell I tossed in their yard only did a half-ass job because only half of them moved out.
What did you toss in their yard, honey?
Well, it was okay. I took brown paper. I wrote my intention down on it. I used a little bit of graveyard dirt. I used some bitch be gone, tied it up with string, knotted it 3 times, and kind of took a walk up the street and just tossed it in their yard, and wound up the neighbor next door moved, and then half of them, my target, moved. So I did something wrong, but I did something right. Some of them
well, probably what happened, you tossed that in the yard, but, you know, the wind may have picked it up and put it someplace else.
Oh, it may have fallen in the creek. I didn't think about that.
Uh-huh. You know, if I were you, if it's neighbors you want to get rid of, I would take bitch be gone spray. And I would, and you know, you have to be a little ballsy to do this, but I would spray at their car doors where they step in it when they get in the car, you know, on the ground by the car doors.
That is a fantastic idea.
Because, you know, in this way, you don't have to go to the front door and spray their doormat, you know.
Yeah.
But really and truly, bitch be gone is kind of like a liquid hot foot, and it really works best, I think, if they step in it.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, because the reason, you know, normally I can put up with annoying people. I can put up with, you know, even people that are kind of nasty. But this was before the 4th of July week, and there was at least like 6 gunshots in front of our house, and you know, in front of our neighbor's house. It was in the middle of the street, so they need to go.
Well, yeah, if they're doing that kind of thing, yes, they need to go. But yeah, that's what I would do. I'm actually with the little coffin boxes. There is a new one that is going to have a spell that comes with it. It's a new cursing box.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
And it is called Grave Matters.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
And
what a cool name.
And with this one, you actually dig a little grave, and it's very simple. It does not have a poppet. You don't have to bury the little box, but it's going to be a very fun spell. And
nice.
Yeah, so I'm you know, working on getting that together and getting it down on paper and figuring out if I'm going to paste it in the inside of the box or if I'm going to have to do a scroll. It depends on how much space it takes. But but it's going to come with 5 square nails. and glass and graveyard dirt and
a
bottle of special edition oil that I will not sell on my website that is called Screw You.
Love it.
Oh.
Need it. Did you hear what my week was like? Do you think maybe I have a use for this? Hello?
Well, you're going to have to empty. Well, you know what? Yeah, you're probably going to have a use for the spell. Yes, I would think so. Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And so that's it's really, really different because I was thinking about that. What could I do? With those little boxes, and it was like, one of them has got to be a cursing kit, and so I think this one is everybody's probably going to love this one because it's going to be super easy to do, and fun, and will work your frustrations out.
Yep.
And and that's the thing about curses. You want to feel like you've done something once you're done with the curse.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk away from it going, is that all there is? So you want to feel vindicated, once you've done it. And I think people will feel vindicated with this.
I like it. It's great. Can't wait.
and then I I did Day of the Dead kits last year.
Yep.
And this year, I'm doing them again, but I am changing the name.
Okay.
To Waken the Dead.
Love it.
And the reason I'm doing that is, and it's going to have the same stuff that the Day of the Dead kits had in them, but the reason I'm doing that is because people need to honor their ancestors more than just once a year.
True.
And
I agree.
Plus the fact that I can pair that with Awaken the Dead candle in the spray. But
that's true. That's all right.
Yeah, but anyway, it occurred to me that from a practitioner's point of view, this is something that could actually be used year round, very, very easily. And the other thing I'm doing this year is I'm introducing a new kit that is a blessings kit. And it is called Bless My Soul.
Oh. Tell me about that.
It's going to have all kinds of fun little things in it. It's going to have blue balls in it. And there are people out there, I bet, that don't know what blue balls are. but they're about they're like different sizes because they're molded by hand.
Really?
Well, yes. But this is what people used to throw in their laundry. It was bluing. And now if people use bluing at all, they use the liquid stuff. But these are little balls that are like marbles.
Yep.
And they are good luck. And gamblers, wash their hands in blue ball water.
Yep.
They a lot of people will put it in their mop water to bless the house and infuse it with luck.
I didn't know that.
And
my grandmother only used it for laundry.
Well, you know what? My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, used it, actually rinsed her hair in bluing because her hair was white, but it would yellow, and it would get the brassiness out of it.
Huh.
And these are the original blue balls were copper sulfate. Okay, these are not. So these are safe. Like you could actually put them in your bath water.
Oh, really?
Sure, you could. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Not the old copper sulfate ones. Okay, because now they're saying now they're toxic. Well, you know what? Everything's toxic anymore. It's like it's toxic this year, and next year it's the best thing since peanut butter. So
that is for sure. Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So you can do that. So that's one of the things that's going to be in it. I am going to put an herbal packet in with a tea bag. And this is one of those tea bags that has like a long flap, and so you put the herb in it, and you lay the flap over the side of a mug, and you fill that with boiling water, and you let that steep until it's cool, and then you put that in a spray bottle, fill it up with water, and you spray your front door, both sides, and your threshold to bring blessings into the house.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to put African mojo beans in it.
Ooh.
And a blue eye bead in it.
Oh, blue eye bead? Yes. Very cool. How are you going to fit all this in the box?
How am I going to fit it all in the box?
Yeah.
Oh, well, honey, it really is not all that I mean, it sounds like a lot of stuff, and it is. But, there's quite a little bit of space in there, and there's going to be a special edition blessing oil in there.
Oh, that's going to be great.
So, anyhow, I think that's going to be fun. And then, toward the end of the year, this has nothing to do with coffin boxes, but I'm going to do New Year's ornaments.
Really?
They're clear ornaments that I'm going to stuff with goodies, and you hang these over your front door. And it's going to have, it's going to have all kinds of fun things in it: black-eyed peas and rosebuds and shredded money and all kinds of things that you want to fill your home with, all year long. And so the idea is that you hang it over your front door, and then the next year you replace it.
I love that idea. That sounds great.
So, anyway, lots of busy stuff going on at Morrison Manor. That's
No, but that's great. I can't believe you come up with all these amazing new things every year. It's like, where is she coming up with this stuff?
Well, that's also to my detriment, because I wind up with these very, very cool ideas. It's like the little ornament. Nothing comes easy. It sounds like such a great idea until you try to put it together. And so I realized that this little ornament, it has two halves, and I realized that, I'm going to have to hold this at the bottom so that I can fill it up, without, because it has to have more in it than just half. So I can't just fill one side and snap it shut, right?
I know what you mean.
So, oh no, it goes everywhere. So then I think, okay, fine, I need to tape the bottom of it temporarily, and the sides. And by God, I get it all together. It looks so cute. And when I snap it shut, it doesn't quite snap shut, and all that crap went everywhere again.
Oh, no.
So I am sure that I will probably have to do 50 of these before I get it down pat, because usually I have these great ideas, but it's not as simple as it seems. And, it's kind of like the little poppet kits. I've had to do the sleeve for those, and I think I did 50 of them before I went, oh, how stupid are you? All you have to do is this and this and this. Yeah. But I had to do 50 of them the hard way. So.
Wow. Well, this is how we learn.
Honey, I'm 61 years old. I don't want to learn another damn thing.
I know, but it's an ever-evolving process. I mean, but you've taken all the knowledge that you've acquired through these trial and error procedures, and you've put them to really good use. So it's not really a waste of time, because it helps you to do other things, like making these new boxes or making these ornaments, which I'm really excited about. Have I mentioned? Yes, I have. I'm excited about the ornaments. I think that's a totally cool, novel idea. Never thought about it. Makes perfect sense, of course. So, in my life.
Well, I probably ought to send you a picture of it later.
Cool.
Picture of the prototype.
Cool.
Now, have you already bought all the ornaments themselves?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Because I was going to say, I think they have ones that you can fill from the top, but I'm not sure if they still sell those or not.
I looked at those, but part of the thing was I wanted a loop at the top.
Mhm.
A plastic loop at the top.
Yep.
And you wouldn't believe how many hours I searched online to find exactly what I wanted.
Oh, I believe
wow.
it. I believe it.
So anyway, yes, because I looked for the top fills because I thought, that would work well. And but anyway, but couldn't find them, and I finally found the ones with the loop at the top, so that I can tie a bow on it. And I'm probably going to ship those with just a regular wire Christmas ornament hanger.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So people can hang them, however they want, because they're round. So they're going to have to be hung on something.
Right.
Yeah.
They won't. Yes.
I'm sorry. My apologies. The question being, because everyone does not own their own home, can it be hung just inside the doorway? If you live in, say, an apartment, does it have to be on the outside, or can it be on the inside as long as it's their door?
No. It's supposed to be on the inside above the door.
Oh, good. Okay,
yeah.
I misunderstood. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And now I'm really excited. I was going to figure it out either way. Trust. I was like, I want that.
I know, right?
Goodness. Yeah. So anyway, so things are busy here, and the little coffin boxes. I think I've got probably 1,100 of them now.
Oh shit!
Wow.
and
my God.
I have started decoupaging and cutting, and of course all of the tops have to be cut by hand, and so except to trace around each box and cut that out, and so anyway, I think I probably have about 24 of each made now that are ready to be filled, but I can't stop. And this week has been crazy because I've been working downstairs at night because there's more room. I've got more surface in the kitchen to work than I do upstairs in my workroom. So the dog has been having a fit. She wants to go get in the bed, and she thinks that the television upstairs in the bedroom needs to come on.
Oh, no.
And so she gets in the bed and she gets a treat, and I turn on the TV, but the TV's going on downstairs, and I'm in the kitchen working. And so she'll stay up for a couple hours, and then she'll come downstairs and just have a conniption fit because I'm downstairs.
But yeah, you've broken her routine. Exactly.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So when Mark came home this afternoon, she was so glad to see him because it was like, so our routine is going to go back to normal as long as Daddy's here.
You think?
Yeah,
I know, right?
It's a crapshoot.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, bless her little heart.
I know, seriously. The poor dog. I mean, come on. I'm used to it being this way. Why is it not this way? Where is Mommy?
Yeah, well, she really doesn't even care what I'm doing. It's just that I'm supposed to be doing what she wants me to do, because she thinks she runs things until she, remembers that I am the food goddess.
There you go.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
The treat goddess. Yes.
That is correct. The goddess of the treats. That is very true.
Yeah. So I have to tell her, remember yourself.
Yeah. You better check yourself, baby.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
good heavens.
That's hilarious. Oh, the goddess of the treats.
So, what do you think is causing all this mess? Are we having all kinds of planetary stuff? Because everything's a mess. This political stuff is a mess. Everything, everywhere is a mess. Everybody is angry.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true. It's true.
It's subsided slightly, but I think what was it Jade said last week? That Mars was in Scorpio.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah. And I think
it's messy.
It's yeah. I'll be honest with you, I can't quote him verbatim, but he said it was going to lighten up for a couple weeks, and then it was going to get messy again, but not to the extent.
Not as messy. Right. Not nearly
that it
as bad.
had been.
Because
so
it seems to me that people are almost looking for something to get pissed off about.
I've noticed.
Yes.
I've noticed that.
And it's like, oh my God, just relax. Everybody is offended about something. And,
yes.
It's like, oh, excuse me, you can't breathe my air.
Yeah.
And it's to the point of the ridiculous, and it's been brewing, all year long.
Yeah.
But it seems to be hitting that boiling point. People just need to calm down and try a little kindness.
Don't you just want to retreat from people, though? I mean, I'm so tired. I'm sorry, sis. I really
No,
though.
it's okay. Go ahead.
I just want to be. Lately, all I want to do is go do my job, come home, and sleep, because I want to block out everything else that's going on. It's like, if you're not feeding me or fucking me, basically, I don't want to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's turned into that lately. It's like, no, I don't. I'm not interested in being mad at somebody because they're not gay enough. That was apparently a thing this week, where somebody came out. The girl that came out as bisexual. Oh, she's just experimenting. Oh. She's not gay enough. And then the straight people are like, no, she's totally gay. She just won't admit it. It's like, what do you care? Really, why do you care? Why is this of any importance to anybody but the girl and whoever she's in a relationship with?
Exactly.
Her idea was a fan asked her, "Are you bisexual?" And she said yes. It was a very simple one-word answer. Someone asked a question, the response was given, and the world exploded. This was like the other day. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Who cares?
Yeah.
But everybody's fancy doing a bunch over this. It's amazing. It's amazing to me.
And you're right. It's over things that are just ridiculous. It's never over anything that I think really matters. And there's so many things that are going on in our own country right now that really do matter. Okay, I mean, look at look at the flooding in Louisiana. Yeah. Look at the tornadoes in Indiana. I mean, all these people, are there. A bunch of people have died. A bunch of people are homeless. So on and so forth. These things matter.
Right.
This other little bullshit.
Yep.
Doesn't amount to a row of pins, and yet people are throwing hands over it and stuff, and it's ridiculous. And I don't get it.
The only thing I've ever been able to gather from things like this, where people are just having mob mentality, is that they can't deal with themselves. It's easier to look outside. It's easier to look outside than it is to look inside.
Yeah.
So when I see people going through this fake outrage, it's because there's obviously something missing in their own lives. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with what they're being fake outraged about.
Exactly.
It's just you're either too bored and don't have enough to do with your life, or you're a miserable shit for whatever the reason or reasons may be: bad upbringing, lousy job, unhappy relationships, your kids don't like you, whatever it is. I find that the people who tend towards the fake outrage are the people that are outraged really about their own lives for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than examine and try to fix, they take it out on the rest of the world. And it's really crazy.
Well, and it's almost become like a competition, like, who can be more pious than the next person. Like, look at how much better I am because I believe this, and this. Whatever the situation, and it's like they're looking for that next fix. It's almost become like a drug. Like I am more pious than thou.
I think you're right, and of course, we're all three of us, on social media, quite a bit, and that just seems to fuel things. Suddenly we have an outbreak of what I call keyboard bullies.
Yep.
Yes.
If you don't agree with me, and you don't see it my way, then you're the scum of the earth, kind of thing. And it's crazy. Nobody seems to understand that we all need to live on this planet together.
Exactly.
And I used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit by me. And now I want them to hush if they don't have anything nice to say. That's
well, yeah, because there's once in a while when you're privately ragging on whoever for whatever reason and nobody else hears you, it's one thing. Like my sister, that's something my sister and I would say to each other. If you don't have anything nice to say, honey, come sit by me, because we tell it to each other.
Exactly.
And you don't spill it publicly to the rest of the world, because everybody doesn't need to know every thought in your head, precious snowflake. Yes, you are unique. Yes, you are special, but not to me. Sorry. I mean, but my sister and I will talk about it, and my sister and I disagree on a host of things. And we just don't talk about them because it's not necessary. So we talk about the things that we want to talk about and enjoy talking about, and the things we don't agree about, we leave alone. You know why? Because we're adults.
Yep. We're grown
simple.
Up. Most of the time.
We're grown up.
I don't know, speak for yourself.
Every negative comment on Facebook is not for you to comment on, boo-boo. Everyone else's drama is not your story. Leave it alone. Walk away.
Yeah. And everybody, I remember telling my kid at one point, just because it crosses your mind doesn't mean it needs to roll off your tongue.
Thank you.
And 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 there are grown-ups out there that don't seem to understand that.
No.
Yeah, they've reverted back to a playground. It's ridiculous. And especially stuff that it's like walking into a conversation and you only hear part of that conversation, and then jumping in with an opinion when you don't have all the fucking facts.
Well, and you know what? And there's a lot of that. A lot of times, people will tag me in stuff, and it's like, release so and so from prison, or this or that, or whatever. And I I'll leave it up while I go research this some. And 99% of the time, there's a reason that person is in prison.
Yep.
And so I untag myself. I don't report the post or any of that, but I don't want it on my wall. And there are a lot of things that I untag myself because it's like, oh, honey, I know that you're passionate about this, but that's not really the way things are.
Right.
And, people, there for a while, people were posting their political things on my wall. And I would untag myself immediately.
Yeah, that's
because, well, I don't talk about my, I don't discuss politics on my wall. I just don't do it. Well, I don't think that what I think politically is any of anybody's business. And but I damn sure don't want them posting things on my wall, because then it looks like I agree with that.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not. I don't want it there,
Right.
And
there you go.
And, because it stirs shit. And I don't want it. I mean, I don't want any more drama. So maybe the fact that I'm in that I have been housebound by coffins is a good thing. Because
Housebound by Coffins, the novel, soon to be the movie. Housebound by Coffins.
Or at least
I can just
imagine
you saying that to somebody. Like, saying to somebody who doesn't know you and doesn't know the background, oh yeah, I've got like over 1,000 coffins in my house. I'm sorry, that just tickled me.
But yes, somebody said that to me when I posted, about these coffins, coffin shopping, blah 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 blah, and they said, oh, it would be really funny if that post was public, and people who didn't know you saw it. And I went, darling, that post is public. And he said, I love you more now than I did 15 minutes ago.
There you go. That's funny.
Oh, God.
But yeah, at least that keeps me from having to deal with a lot of stuff, I guess. Plus the fact that I haven't really had to go anywhere, appearance-wise, that I really didn't want to go this year.
That's good.
Good.
Because, sometimes that happens.
Sure.
So, things sound like a good idea at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you start dragging your heels when it gets time to go, and
Absolutely.
and you just know. And so at least this way. When I go to Asheville, I'm staying with a very dear friend of mine, so that's great. So I know. So I know that I have sanctuary.
Yay.
And that makes a difference. The last appearance I do in October, I have a hotel room. So that means that I can close myself off and go, and so.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I need to be able to do that daily.
Well, honey, can't you do that at home?
Oh, I do all the time. I do it daily. I do it at my office. I have my own office, so I close the door and I say, no, not talking to you, not talking to anybody. I actually put my out of office on while I was at work this week because I could not take one more question. I had hit the wall.
Yeah.
I had hit my limit. I was like, you know what? No, nobody needs me that badly for the next 3 hours. Bye.
I did something similar this week. I actually looked at my caller ID before I grabbed the phone, and I only talked to people I wanted to talk to this week. I just let everybody else leave a message.
Yep.
That's
a good thing. Absolutely.
I do that permanently.
Because I got to the point where, I couldn't either. It was just like, I can't.
Mhm.
I just can't.
I'd had enough.
Yeah.
I'd done too much. I had enough of you. I am done with you for now. Go away.
You get to the point where your brain is fried and you just go,
Laugh if you, now here's the thing, laugh if you will, but I walked out of my office on Tuesday, looked around the main office, because there's a room where a bunch of people sit. I'm the only person who has a private office. I walked into the main room, and I looked around, and I could not remember for the life of me why I had left my room, and everybody said, what's wrong? And I said, I am out here with people. I proceeded to turn around, walk away, and go back into my office and close the door. Because I could not remember what the hell it was I had come out for in the first place. That's how fried I was. It's been rough. This has been a really, really grueling, mentally, emotionally rough week. It really has been. So I can identify with the need to be away from people. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed.
And I like people. I do like people, but sometimes people make it difficult.
Well, honey, because they're people. You know, I mean, really. I mean, it's they can't help it. But that's the thing. It just seems that there is so much drama, and I used to be able to get rid of the drama really easy. I would just declare myself to be a drama-free zone, and you know what? That held for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
and then something broke through.
I saw that. There was breaking through and leaking of people and their opinions, and I don't know why people think they just always need to give their opinion on everything. It's like, guess what? No one's feelings are going to be hurt if you don't like or comment on everything they say. Sometimes people just need to vent, and you need to let people vent. And, my understanding of Facebook is we each have our own wall, and we're allowed to vent when we want to, and we don't have to entertain the ideals or thoughts of others unless we actually want to, whether we're a famous person or not a famous person. I thought everybody was allowed to have their own space. That's why we all have our own pages. But apparently that's not true.
No, apparently it's not. And, and apparently there are some of us that even though we are human beings, we seem to be held to a higher standard than normal people.
Absolutely.
And,
I know.
I recently found out I was one of those. It was like, oh, I'm not allowed to be human. So if I'm not allowed to be human, then I want somebody to canonize me right away.
I know that's
there
right.
You go.
I know that's right. It's like, and honestly, Dorothy, to tell you the truth, I don't put very many of my thoughts on Facebook at all because I don't want to hear what other people think necessarily about said feelings.
Well,
I don't want a free-for-all, and it's aggravating because I should be able to. That's what it's there for.
Yeah. You know what? And you're right. It is what it's there for. But yes, I think we have all learned that it's supposed to be there for that. That's not what it's there for. I always felt like that my Facebook wall was like my dinner table.
Yeah.
That I invited people to supper.
Yeah.
But if I invite you to supper, don't shit in the middle of my table.
Hello.
That's rude.
Thank you.
Yes.
And people have no manners. What is up with that? You don't have, like I said, I don't agree with most people on many, many things. But if you care about them, you overlook that and you treat each other with love and respect. Like adults, it happens. It can happen. And people, when you don't know them personally, are fucking animals sometimes. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
Well, it's true. I had to get tickled, okay, because there was this big brouhaha, going on, and I decided I wasn't going to respond to any of it. I was just going to, let it work itself out, and that was fine, and let them all fight amongst each other. And then my niece's husband said something to somebody who had said something nasty about me, and she said, of course, now here's the deal. You don't know who's who on Facebook.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
This woman told him to butt out. This was none of his business. Just run along.
Oh no, she didn't.
And I thought,
damn.
and then she blocked me. I hadn't said a word to her. I have never said a word to this person. And I thought, how funny was that? Because she made the biggest faux pas of all. It was his business. He's my family.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And so I had to laugh at that because it was like, oh, honey, you really did make a grave error in judgment here.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I mean, if you know what, be supportive of the things you agree with, and if you see something you don't agree with, you don't need to say anything. Just walk away. Why is it so hard for people to walk away? Oh, it makes me crazy.
I don't know, unless they feel like they have no power otherwise. And I guess it's been, I think at one point in my life, maybe 30 years ago, I got to the point where I felt like I had no power. I didn't stay in that situation long. But, I'm okay with me. Good, bad, and different flaws and all. I'm okay with me. And
there you go.
I'm like you. I don't understand why it's so hard to walk away. I have friends who support causes that I don't believe in at all.
Me too. Yep.
And I have good reason for thinking that these particular causes are crazy and absurd. However,
me too. Yeah.
When I see them posting things about those causes, I don't respond. I don't like it. I don't love it. I don't laugh at it. I don't cry at it. I don't go, oh, wow, at it. I don't do any of the little emoticon things. Yeah. I just keep scrolling.
Thank you. Yeah. It's not difficult to keep scrolling. It is sometimes
you can
preferable.
Do it.
And seriously.
That's the spell for the day. Use your scroll button on your mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It actually moves things across the screen.
I know, right? Or if you have somebody who is a frequent offender and you don't want to unfriend them, you can unfollow.
Absolutely.
There's this magical button that you don't have to see them in your feed. I've got quite a few people that I care about, but I don't agree with most of the stuff they say.
Yep.
And it's like I'll go in and I'll kind of check every once in a while. It's like, yeah, you're still an idiot, but I like you.
Yeah. I care
and
about
I go on
you,
about
but
my
you're
business.
a moron. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the I care about you, but you may be a moron, but I still love you. I'm going to let this go and not incur any kind of nonsense because you don't need to know what I think. I'm just going to keep going.
And besides that, it's like it's not hurting you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not taking money out of your pocket.
Nope.
It's not taking food off your table. It's not endangering your children or your grandchildren.
Nope.
Okay?
That's right.
It's not endangering your livelihood or your living space or any of that.
True.
So why be bothered? That's the whole thing. I don't have time to be bothered with that crap. And, of course, and I have friends, too, that apparently like drama because if there is no drama in their lives, they dig up something that happened to them 2 years before and start it up and go on and on about it. And it's like, for God's sake, quit living in the past, move forward. Let's see what's in the future. Surely, if you love drama that much, surely you can dig up some in the future.
Yes, get down off that cross, build yourself a bridge, and get over it.
Yeah, use that wood in a more productive manner.
There you go.
There you go.
God.
Yeah, and there are just some people that, that's they thrive on drama. If they don't have anything, they will make something up. And generally, those type of people, they go bye-bye. I'm like, you know what? Okay, can't do it with you because I don't want my name associated with you because you're that bad. You know, it's no, thank you. No, thank you. Have fun with that, but no, thank you. I don't want to be a part of it.
Well, I have never blocked anybody or unfriended anybody. And I have Facebook friends who I don't know at all, who I've never developed a relationship with, because and because y'all have this show, y'all probably do too.
Oh, absolutely.
When somebody wants to friend you, you do it unless you've reached your limit and this kind of thing. But because you have fans. Well, I get so tickled when I say something that someone doesn't like or doesn't appreciate, and oh my God, they throw a little fit, and I'll just unfriend you like that's some kind of a threat. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way, but all right, have a nice life.
Yeah. See, I can't do that. I can't collect people like that. So I keep my friends list has never been over like 150 people at any given time, and I 2 or 3 times a year will go through, and if we have no interaction, you're gone, and you'll never notice that you're gone because we're not really friends. So let it go. I'm not friends with a lot of people purposely. I mean, I have, and I feel badly. I look at the friend requests. I read them, and I check to see how many people, not only how many people do we have in common, but who do we have in common. There's a lot of difference between, okay, this particular group of folks that I know are your friend, and these are people I actually interact with who I know, and maybe I'll give you a chance. But half the time, a lot of those people are just gathering, oh, look at who's on my friends list, and I'm not into it. I'm just not into it.
Well, I never even thought about
part
that.
Of a collection.
I don't do it. I don't collect people. I don't need 300 or 400 friends on my Facebook. We have a show. Friend the show. You have access to me, because if you have access to our show page, you can message me all day long. If you want to build a friendship or we have things in common, you still have access to me. So it's not like, and you have the same thing, Dorothy. You have a business page. People have access. They can leave messages. It's very simple, but everybody who's on your friends list isn't your friend. These are not people that you talk to offline or privately, and it's like, and it's not disparaging to anybody. I just can't manage that many people. I can barely manage the people who are in front of me. So I don't, if you're on my friends list, it's because I give a shit about you in a really serious way. I care about you a lot.
And you know what? And those of us who are on your friends list appreciate that. But I'm not surprised to hear that you might have trouble managing more than that, because Facebook can't manage your friends list either. Every time Facebook makes a change, they knock friends off your list.
Seriously?
I honestly never noticed.
Oh, well, see, I noticed because I was at my limit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I wasn't at my limit, and people were messaging me and emailing me and going, why did you unfriend me? And it was like, honey, I haven't ever unfriended anybody.
Wow.
And so I would friend them. But even though Facebook now shows that I'm not at my capacity, if someone tries to friend me, it says that I am. And
That's
so that
weird.
means that I have to stop, and I have to send them a friend request. And if they accept it, they're in.
Wow.
Huh.
So keep an eye on your friends list, because I'm telling you, every time they make some little change, some little tweak, it affects your friends list.
Wow. But I'll never be near that capacity though, because I won't ever friend that many people. You know what I mean? There's no reason for it. Like I said, I have a business page. Sis and I have a business page. You can access me if you have questions. Listen, a very sweet person asked me for a reading. She wasn't on my friends list previous to that, but not a big deal. She was able to reach out to me. She found me through the show. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Very nice person. I think we're friends now. Either way, we still have access to each other, so it's not a big deal. I'm not closed off to people, but a friends list is a personal thing. If we don't have serious interaction, this is the other thing that pisses me off now that we're on the subject. People who friend me, who only friend me because they want to add me to all of their pages and all of their shows. And the thing that I noticed that really cracked me up is every time I say something negative, like, please don't do this, if we're not going to, and I don't say it to anybody specifically, I'll leave a post that says, unless we're going to interact in some meaningful way, please don't friend me just to add me to one of your shows, lists, whatever. And the thing that cracks me up is when I say things like that, inevitably, the people who are the offenders are the ones who like what I just said.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's hilarious. And I sit there and I about die. Because it's almost every time I post something that is personal for me, inevitably, somebody always reacts, and they're one of the people I'm actually referring
about.
to.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
It's hilarious. And I just laugh.
You probably also get other show hosts that send friend requests, okay?
Absolutely.
And, because I get other authors who do, and they're not authors necessarily in my genre.
Right.
They're usually new authors. And what they've done is they've gone through Facebook, and they're trying to, and they want to friend other authors because they are looking for your audience.
Yes.
Okay? And the same thing with other show hosts. They want to access your audience.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Unless I know those people or I have, or I'm familiar with the name or something, generally I don't friend those people because those are the people who tend to want to post their promos on my wall. And that's my wall.
So rude.
And so y'all be careful about that with other show hosts, unless they're doing a show that unless you share an audience or they're doing some kind of show where you would maybe share an audience, because why should this is going to sound really crappy, but why should they ride around on your coattails?
Right, and we actually have had people email us and say, hey, let's be friends. This is what I do. Da 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 da. And we actually turn down more than we accept. Like if we accept you, then everything's fine, obviously. But we're not here
but believe me, we've checked you out.
We have checked you out, and we don't actually seek out other show hosts. It's not because we're not friendly. It's just because
honey,
it
doesn't
don't have to occur to us. Well, we just don't do it. It's not something that occurs to us to do like we should do that. We're just us, and we're just hang out kind of witches, and we do what we do, But, the people, I've had one woman, nice lady. Everything was very quiet at first, but all of a sudden she had 16 fucking shows, and she had 19,000 pages. And I'm like, please stop inviting me. She was inviting me to a different show and a different page the one thing I will say about Facebook, people have, I don't know if I did something in my settings or if it's a Facebook thing that they changed, but people are not allowed to add me to anything that I don't want to be added to. You have to ask me now.
Yeah.
Something must have changed in your settings.
I must have done something. And I don't know what I did.
Because occasionally, not only do people get knocked off my friends list when Facebook tweaks things, my settings get changed too.
Ooh,
and
that's not
yes. Good. And so I had to go back to, the thing was, somebody posted something to my wall, and it wasn't posted to my wall. All of a sudden, the way things used to be set up, and I hope they are again, is that anybody could post anything to my wall. I didn't have to prove anything. So it could go right to my timeline. And of course, what that meant was that if I didn't like it, I was going to have to go to my timeline and take it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right, but they could. Well, suddenly I'm getting these notices that people are posting things to my timeline. They're not showing up.
That's weird.
And now I've got a slot where it's like, it's allowed on my timeline or not. What?
Wow.
and so now in the settings, only friends can post things to my wall, and there's no way for me to change that. Okay? It used to be anybody could, but now only friends can, and the rest of the stuff, if they're not my Facebook friend, it goes in this other slot.
Right.
Oh, awesome.
It may be awesome to for you, but it's not awesome for me because I don't have time to be glued to Facebook all day long to see what the hell is happening.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's part of the reason that's part of the reason I have to limit my friends because, I worked 11 hours today. that's more the norm. And I skipped lunch, so I was in at 6, and I didn't get home until, after 5. I'm exhausted. I get maybe a half hour on Facebook during the day, and I can't live on it anymore. I posted something earlier. How do I know I've spent too much time on Facebook? My boss sent an email, and I looked for the like button.
Wait,
I mean, seriously.
Like
she sent she sent I had spent so much time on Facebook that she sent an email, and I wanted to like it, but you can't like an email. It was just a Facebook I was reacting to it as though it were on Facebook, and I wanted to like it, and I was looking for the like button, and there is no like button on email. It's like, I've spent way too much time in Facebook world. I need to stop. And I don't spend that much time there. And so it's like it really ingrained in my brain from when I did have more time. I just don't have time. Because I get people saying, didn't you see my post? Didn't you see my post? No, sweetheart, I didn't see your post. I'm so sorry. I don't scroll back 48 hours.
But that's another one of the self-important things. People with delusions of grandeur. People say, "Well, I'm sure you saw my post, blah 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 blah," and with nearly 5,000 Facebook friends, no, baby, I probably didn't.
No.
Yeah.
You're probably in my news feed, but I probably would have to scroll down 3 hours to see it.
Yeah.
And so, unless somebody is marked like as a close friend, those are the ones that come up in your news feed first. And sometimes it takes me an hour to get through that. When I have time to even scroll and take a look, it's just like, maybe you've got more time than I do, but I don't have enough hours in a day.
Not with 5,000 friends, Nope. I sure as hell don't.
And then I'll have people who actually are my good friends who will send me a private message on Facebook. And I'm not sure how we got off on Facebook, but that's probably my fault. But anyway,
no, it's okay.
I guess it's got a magic of its own, right? Since it does all kinds of crazy things we don't seem to be responsible for. But if I don't get to that private message within 5 minutes, I get another one every 5 minutes. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm not glued to that. I've got a business to run. I've got things I've got to do. I have a dog that needs walking.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I've got sunshine that needs to be on me.
That's why I laugh every time you answer one of my emails, my messages, Dorothy, because I'm thinking she probably has 600 messages, and she actually managed to get to mine. I think that's amazing. I don't know how she did it.
Well, okay, now, just a second. You said 600? I just flipped over to my email, and I'm looking at my inbox number. Do you want the number? Now we're going to show you how special you are.
Okay.
I have 4,978 emails in my inbox right now.
Holy shit!
Oh my God!
None of them are junk.
Wow.
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
God.
That's my work email though. My work email, my inbox currently has 18,000 emails. I have 46.
Wow.
I'm sorry. As of today, I think I took a look at all of my emails. I have currently 50,000 emails. They had to expand the memory for me at work 3 times because I said you cannot delete these. Yeah, they're not allowed to touch my email. And every one of those emails are used at some point in the future. I have had to reference. I had somebody call me and say, "You remember that email we got 3 years ago?" And I have it. I'm the only one who still has it.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
you and I are a lot alike because I have archives.
Mhm.
I have email archives, and that are by year. And somebody, one of my good friends, had given me a spell at one time.
Mhm.
And she'd emailed it to me, and it was 10 years later, and she couldn't find it. And she wanted to know if I remembered the spell, or if I'd written it down someplace. And I went, oh, honey, I can do better than that.
I got the email.
I have the email you sent me. And she went, what? That was over 10 years ago. And I said, yeah, I know. But I learned a long time ago that I cover my ass.
Thank you. That's right.
Because people will say, at some point later, you said blah, 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 blah to me.
Mhm.
And it's like, no, darling, I can pull up that email. Here, let me show you what I said to you. That was not at all what you thought I said. Here is exactly what I said.
Oh, yeah. That's correct. I have every email. And that's just my work stuff. That's not to mention what's in my private email.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, we have what? We've got half an hour left. Is that right? We have half an hour left?
Actually, we only have 3 minutes left. I was just looking, and somebody said that. Let me look at the episode, because I think I have the full, I only had 120 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I hate when it does this. It goes by so fast because we love talking to you.
Well, I know it, but your listeners are going to get really mad at y'all having me if we don't talk magic, huh?
I know, right?
Actually,
no,
I don't think that's necessarily true. They know who we are. They know we will talk about anything we want to talk about. But if you have things to plug, this would be the time. Seriously. But if you want to plug some stuff, Dorothy, this would be the time. Upcoming appearances or anything?
Just the Asheville Raven and Crone in Asheville, North Carolina on September 9th through 11th. Y'all come. We'd love to see all of you there. I'm going to be at the store from open to close, just for people to come in and visit, and then I'm giving 4 classes over the weekend. So
I'm excited.
That is awesome.
So anyway, either come to class or just come and visit. Be glad to have you.
There you go.
Oh, yes. I will be there, and I know Sis will be there. I think you're going to go for a couple days, right? Because you're going to be...
I'm actually there from the 9th through the 12th.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I will be up for the day. I will be up bright and early.
Okay. I will do it. I'll do my best not to be late on Saturday morning.
Oh, you're fine. If you are, trust me, I'll be standing there with coffee for you then. Don't worry about it.
Okay. It's a day.
All right.
All right, ladies.
Even if I only get 10 minutes, I'm good.
We'll make sure you get more than that.
You'll get more than that.
Yay!
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a pleasure, and we can't wait to have you back again, and we can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
That's right.
I'm so looking forward to it. Thank y'all so much for having me, and y'all have a great night.
You're welcome.
Oh, and send me that picture,
love you.
Dorothy, when you get a chance.
I'll do it. I'll do it in just a few minutes. Love y'all, too.
Sounds good. Night.
Night.
Good night.
Talk us out, sis.
Oh, I love her. All right.
I know.
Remember, folks, we will not be back until the 30th of September, but we love you guys. I will probably be posting old archived shows, but y'all have a great month. I'm still going to be doing the Around the Cauldron, so keep an eye out for that. We'll keep up with the page. We love you. Bright blessings. Have a great weekend. Bye,
night,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Say hi to savings at Old Navy and OldNavy.com with up to 40% off all jeans, all pants, and all tees. And don't forget to come in now to redeem your super cash. Hurry in today. High fashion, Old Navy. Valid 4/25 through 4/30. Excludes clearance, active, licensed, and men's package tees.